Okay, it's our first show back in 2025, our first real show back in 2025. We have Bitcoin at a healthy 99,000. I'm going to show you what I mean by healthy 99,000 and why I think that maybe the next move, or probably the next move, is going to be up. But that's not what I want to talk about today. What we need to talk about today is we need to talk about this. And for those of you who don't know what this is, it shows that the mind share in crypto of AI is now at probably the most that it's ever been. It's on 70%. And it's not a coincidence that it's on 70%. It's on 70% because of an announcement that Sam Altman made. And this announcement that Sam Altman made was specifically around AGI, or what they call artificial general intelligence. What that effectively means is that humans are going to start being replaced by AI. Now, there is a way. If you think about a world where humans start to be replaced by AI, it effectively means that AI takes your job, takes your livelihood, takes your form of income, and actually lands up replacing you. Now, if you don't have a way to replace your income, or if you're not the owner of the AI, then effectively you could be left without an income, without a revenue stream, etc. And so we have to talk about what AGI means and why crypto actually may be the solution to protect you from AGI, or not even the solution, but a huge opportunity in the world of AGI. So today is all about AGI, not AI, AGI, artificial general intelligence, and what we need to do to thrive, to protect ourselves, to make sure that we actually survive this revolution and actually come out much, much, much better on the other side. So let's get going, guys. I mean, it's absolutely crazy how fast this AI world is developing. And the truth is that we're only at the beginning, and it's going to start developing faster and faster and faster. And so you kind of have two choices at the moment. You can either embrace it, like those people that embraced websites and the people that embraced social media in the beginning, or you can try and resist this revolution. But if you resist this revolution, then I fear that you may be missing out on the biggest opportunity of your life. So a lot of people are very scared of this AI and AGI thing. I think that if you look at it the way we're going to look at it today, it's probably the biggest opportunity of our lives. It's probably a way for us to sit back and just make passive income for the rest of our lives, whilst other people land up losing their jobs and land up without income and without revenue streams and stuff like that. So super important that you watch today's show. It's going to be a massive show. Very excited to be back. I guess it's our first real show of the year. We did a show yesterday. I really enjoyed the show yesterday about AI agents. It was a real bonus show. Go and watch the show because it'll give you an idea of how these AI agents work. And it's probably one of the biggest opportunities in crypto and threats if you don't actually embrace it. So it's the show called The Tiny AI Agent Coins Over 100x. It was the show that we did yesterday. Otherwise, welcome back. I wish you guys an amazing and amazingly prosperous 2025. If you are already a member of our community, amazing, welcome back, sending you much love. If you're not, well, welcome to the community, welcome to 2025. Someone, his show yesterday was explaining the whole AI agent story. It was good. Thank you. If you're here, what I need you to do is, because it's our first day back, not everybody knows that we're here. So what I need you to do is I need you to obliterate this like button, okay? And yeah, we'll talk about AI agent run to the rescue. Baked is pumping. We'll talk about that as well. We'll do it on a Spaces though. We won't do it here because I think it's a little bit unfair if we do it here. Let's get into the alpha because there's a lot to talk about today, and I really do want to spend a lot of time around this AGI narrative that's basically coming out. So I said at the beginning of the show that we are in a healthy almost 100,000. We're at a healthy 99,000. I kind of called the pump today, and I said, last week I said today's a warm up for what Monday will be like, where people get back to work and they come back to work with New Year's resolutions, and in their New Year's resolutions they're like, wow, I've been underexposed to AI and I've been underexposed to crypto, and then what they do is they basically go and sort out their portfolios to match all the reflections that they had on vacation, right? So almost you got to think of today like that first day in the gym. If you went to the gym on the 2nd of January, not the 1st of January, because 1st of January, everybody had hangovers, right? But the 2nd of January, or specifically the first Monday in January, people go to gym, right? Because they put their New Year's resolution into effect. Now, if you think about New Year's resolutions, your New Year's resolution, obviously, everyone's like, I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to get a much better body. I'm going to lose weight, and they go to the gym and stuff like that. People, I'm going to become smarter. Oh no, I'm going to become richer. And those are the resolutions that people actually end up making. How do they become richer? They reflect on their portfolios. And when they do, they come back on the Monday and they go, okay, well, I've got to start allocating to this and start allocating to that. And I've got to start building the portfolio. And they want to do it all in one day, the same way that they do it at the gym, which is why we're going to get a pump today. Now, I do expect this pump to continue because I think it's a very healthy pump. And the reason why I say it's a very healthy pump, just look at the leverage. Zero leverage. Pretty much every single part of the leverage is maxed, is low. You've got funding rates, pretty normal, pretty low. Let's quickly just look at crypto fear and greed. I imagine it's at around 70, but let's just quickly have a look at it here. It's at around 70, I think. 76. Okay, so crypto fear and greed is okay. The Coinbase app, which is one of the things that we actually use, it's been holding around the 150 to 200. So basically, there's no froth in this market, zero froth in this market whatsoever, which is why I think it's a very, very healthy $100,000 that we're at now. In fact, very, very, very healthy start to the year. Like to come into the year at $100,000 at the beginning of 2025, zero froth, zero fluff, etc. I think very, very good. Couple of, I want to say risks. One of the risks is that Trump is getting sentenced on the 10th of January. So they had a motion to dismiss the sentencing, and the judge denied the sentencing in January. So you effectively have an incoming president that's going to be sentenced for criminal activities or for criminal charges on the 10th of January. And that could spook the market at some point. Even though the judge says, look, I'm not inclined to impose any jail sentence on Trump. So it's not going to be jail, but I don't think it's good for the sentiment of the market that you have an incoming president that actually is going to get sentenced. So just keep an eye out. It's in 5 days. Keep an eye out for that. The other thing that's worrying me, and I've said it a million times, is I kind of think that a lot of this market is being held up by MicroStrategy. I have nothing against MicroStrategy. I think what they're doing is fantastic, but it's an unhealthy market for me when there's one buyer in the market. He keeps raising and raising and raising money to buy Bitcoin, and he keeps publishing these things. But if you look at this transaction here, we're used to Michael Saylor buying $1 billion and $2 billion and $1.5 billion, and he landed up buying 1,070 Bitcoin. Now, 1,070 Bitcoin is, Josh, did you buy more or less than 1,070 last week?
A little bit more.
You bought a little bit more. He bought a little bit more. Yeah, what?
I bought a little bit.
Oh, yeah. So when you talk about like 1,070, like Josh bought more than that. You bought much more than 1,070, right? Double. See, so like it's slowing down now. Again, what worries me is that this market feels a little bit, I won't say artificially inflated, but it does feel like there's one main buyer in the market, which is Michael Saylor. And there is a risk that if Michael Saylor slows down, the market slows down with Michael Saylor. But we'll keep an eye on that going forward. I think let's maybe just take stock of where we are. We're moving into, we're in Q1, we're in January. January, not a great month for Bitcoin. So if you look at the numbers here, January, not really a good month for Bitcoin, 3.51% on average for Bitcoin. Generally, if we look at the average January, average returns of about 4%. But in halving years or in post-halving years, which is 1 year after halving, which is where we are today, 22.75%. And usually we start off the month, the price of Bitcoin bottoms on the 12th of January. So, again, these are all very anecdotal. Benjamin Kahn points out a good thing. He says Bitcoin's looking similar to what it did exactly 1 year ago, spiked up in early January, then down in late January, and then picking up before a high in February. So if you look at what happens in February for Bitcoin, February is a much better month for Bitcoin. So 3.51% in Jan. But if you look at the average in Feb, 15.66. White shirt Indian is my brother. Listen to my wise brother from another mother. He's white shirt Indian. I'm blue shirt Indian today. See, I'm Indian blue shirt. He's Indian white shirt. Anyway, so February better than January for Bitcoin. As Benjamin Kahn says, maybe this is the pattern that we play out. But actually, I think we should maybe focus our attention on ETH, because whilst January is not a great month for Bitcoin, January is actually a very good month for ETH. And you can see that actually it's the second best month, the third best month for ETH, or somewhere around there. Average returns of 21.83%, but median returns of 31.92%. So January, one of the most powerful months actually for ETH. And the ETH thing is what can actually bring us into alt season. Now, there is something which tells me that the alts may start running much quicker than we think. So it's not this, it's not the fact that the bubbles are primarily green, but if you look at the Bitcoin dominance chart, there's two trends that I want you to look at. The first trend is that, let me try and get onto this chart here. Okay, so the first trend that I want you guys to see is, oh man, it's freezing here. You can see this long-term downtrend on the Bitcoin dominance, which means that in time, the altcoins are going to outperform Bitcoin, or Bitcoin is going to become less relevant as more and more use cases for blockchain actually happen. But that's not what I wanted to show you. What I wanted to show you, much more importantly, is this death cross, which is about to happen on Bitcoin dominance. So the death cross is when the 200 moving average crosses the 50 moving average, when the 50 crosses the 200-day moving average. You can see what happened when this happened last time. So that is what happened when the death cross happened last time for Bitcoin dominance. And then Bitcoin dominance fell off a cliff. Now, if we go to the chart of Total 3, let's quickly just go to Trading View. And let's go to Total 3 or others. Let's just have a look here. Others or Total 3. Let's quickly go to others. And we look at what happened when we got the death cross. The death cross was on the 10th of March, 2021. So let's quickly just go back here. And let's just bring a chat to make it easier. Let's go to the 10th of March, 2021. Go all the way back there. You can see pretty much February, March. So that must have been around here. And that was when we got a huge run up. So we could be entering this period here where altcoins actually really start running. So that's one of the things that we should look at. The only thing that I don't like about this chart is that if you look at 10th of March, 2021, which is here, and you go, how long did we really have in the bull market afterwards, after the death cross? We had 70 days, so 2.5 months, which kind of aligns with a much shorter cycle. It talks to a cycle, an altcoin cycle that ends somewhere around April. Anyway, we're not going to worry about that now because we will stop dancing when they switch off the music. But right now we're here and the music's pumping and the party's pumping. And so we must carry on pumping with the party and with the music and with everything else, right? So right now, it looks like it could be good for alts. It could be good for ETH. At least that's what it looks like. And specifically, if we look at the alts, because we're a bunch of degens, we only really look at alts. By the way, if you're looking at alts, I want to show you something. It's on the app of Banter Bubbles, and it's on the desktop. So I think that now we're the only app that actually gets the price feeds live. And so if you, for example, just go on the 1 minute chart, instead of waiting for it to keep refreshing, you can see it's basically refreshing all the time. So if you want to just see the prices as they change, just go on the 1 minute chart. Otherwise, if you're watching it on the 1 hour chart, the same thing happens, but the movements aren't as big because you're not looking at it relative to a 1 minute move. But I think now we're the only app, Banter Bubbles is now the only app which actually has live price feeds. And guess what? We're now introducing stocks. So by the end of January, you're going to be able to have your Apple, Amazon, Microsoft and everything else and your crypto in actually one thing. And then Josh told me earlier on in February that he's going to do an integration with Cookie, right? And we're going to put like an AI agent section here. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be absolutely amazing. Can't wait for what Josh has to show us. But if we look at the altcoins, specifically today, a couple of things that actually stick out. One is Injective. Injective finally having a move. Long awaited. I mean, Injective has been a part of our long-term portfolio for a long time. The reason why Injective is moving is because of this thing called Injective 3.0. What is Injective 3.0? It is effectively, one of the biggest things here is the fact that the burn of Injective protocols, actually Injective tokens, actually gets boosted by 400%. So Injective boosts the deflation rate by 400%, ensuring the token remains resilient against inflation. So effectively, this makes the Injective protocol very, what's the word? Deflationary. And that's why Injective, starts running. I think this was passed with 100% approval or 99% approval. So this one's passed. Another one that I've been looking at is SUI. I mean, SUI is now at almost all-time highs, $5.20. I think SUI is really playing out like the Solana of the cycle. And, we've been very, very, very bullish on SUI for a long time, getting more and more bullish on SUI. In fact, keep adding to SUI on every one of the dips. It does give me very much Solana vibes. There's a lot of cool builders working on it, a lot of good applications looking at it. So I am looking very much at SUI. Although when I look at the usage is not very high relative to Solana. But let's remove Solana just for a second and look at it relative to all the other blockchains. So let's remove. So when you look at it relative to all the other blockchains, you can see that that actually SUI. So generally, SUI has higher daily active addresses and stuff like that. Now, there is a trade here that's worth looking at. So the one trade is, obviously, we're looking at SUI, right? And we're going to buy SUI and we're going to buy the ecosystem. And I'm going to show you one of the ecosystem plays that I'm actually buying some today. But there's another play here that's worth looking at. Now, the play is actually Aptos. And the reason why I'm looking at Aptos again is because generally, you want to buy things when most people have given up on certain tokens. Now, if you think about what happened to Aptos, generally SUI and Aptos kind of moved in this like pattern where either Aptos overperformed or SUI overperformed or Aptos overperformed. Now SUI's overperforming. And now you can see that this chart has actually started to bottom. Now, this came on the back of the news that the founder of Aptos, Mo Sheikh, actually left the project. And I think if you read between the lines, what you realize is that he was kind of maybe pushed out by the VCs. And he was pushed out by the VCs probably because they saw what was happening in SUI and they saw what was happening in Aptos, and they kind of probably, I don't have any inside information here, I'm just speculating. But I would imagine that what happened was he was pushed out by the VCs who said, look, your competitors are eating you alive. You're not the right guy to run this thing. And so right now, this thing, they've handed over the reins to the other co-founder. His name's Avery. And what I think is happening here is I think that this chart has probably bottomed, right? So I think if I look at the Aptos chart, I don't know if it's exactly bottomed, but I think that you may want to just look at hedging yourself and just taking something on Aptos, because usually if projects don't die, I mean, there's two options here. One, it dies. I don't think it's going to die. But if it doesn't die, then effectively this thing may be the biggest comeback of all time. So you kind of want to be looking at that. It's a contrarian play, but definitely want to look at it. Another one that's really pumping, 𝗥𝗢𝗙𝗡. Our baby 𝗥𝗢𝗙, we've got this position in 𝗥𝗢𝗙, or at least I've got a position here, 50 grand up on this position. Doing very well here on my Bybit account. By the way, if you haven't already got a Bybit account or a BitGet account, open a Bybit account or open a BitGet account, because from tomorrow, I'm loading up those accounts and we're going to start new accounts from scratch. And the reason why we're going to start new accounts from scratch is because a lot of people have been complaining and said, look, your account is way, way, way too far down the line now. We started this account with $50,000. This account's got like $7 million in it. It's too far down the line. Let's start again. It's a good time to start again in 2025. So if you don't already have an account, go below. Go to the links below. You should be able to find, let's quickly just go to the links below. You should be able to find exchange links over there. Sign up to Blowfin, sign up to Bybit. Here we go. Sign up to Blowfin, sign up to Bybit, or BitGet, and I'm going to be trading live on those accounts. The bigger players sign up on Bybit, the smaller players sign up on Blowfin, so we can actually run those accounts, and you'll be getting money on your trades. So that is the SUI Aptos 𝗥𝗢𝗙 story, but I think we need to move on to the story of the day. And specifically the narrative of the day, the narrative of the year, and you can kind of see it when you look at the bubbles. So you look at the bubbles over here, you're like, holy shit, what's going on here? If you look between the lines, Render is up 10%, Fetch is up 10%, WorldCoin is up 10%, NEAR is up 4.27%. It's AI. Everything is about AI. And specifically today, the AI narrative has a 70% market share. Now, I want to talk about this because this is unprecedented. And if you look at what AI is doing to memes, which is exactly what I said at the end of last year, memes are cool, but AI is 1,000 times more relevant, better. It can be backed by by many more fundamentals. And so I had the prediction that AI was going to obliterate memes. just like you guys are obliterating the like button. Actually, no, not really, because if I look at the likes here, you're not really obliterating the like button. But if I look at AI's market share, Josh, did you just go to the toilet? You had to. Number 1 or number 2, bro?
Which one's P?
Number 1.
Bro, you like, how old are you?
23.
You're 23 and you can't hold it in. Like,
Something's going on today, so I'll be honest with you.
is it? You should get your prostate checked, bro.
No, shit. I think it's something checked.
So you've been on my YouTube with this. I see prostate things. Is that you, bro?
No, that's too bad.
One of you's been on my YouTube.
Just for the video.
You know what? I'm also going for a pee break.
What the fuck? Did it run the show?
I mean, we can't just leave the show in the middle of the show and go for pee breaks, bro. Imagine you were the host. I don't know how this place works. Okay, so let's go back to it. So the amount of likes we're getting here is precedented, but the AI share of attention is unprecedented, 71.78%. And actually, there's a good reason here. I did say to you that AI was going to steal market share from memes, and you can see Fartcoin is down, Chill Guy is down, but Griffin is up. And that just kind of shows what's going on here. I also read this tweet, which was good. It said, in 2024, crypto lacked novel narrative so badly that everyone just resorted to gambling on animal memes. Now all of a sudden we have actual cool tech narratives, AI and crypto, and you think it's not going higher. I'm much more excited this year. You can probably feel it in my bones. You can feel it in your bones that I'm much more excited this year because of this AI narrative. And I mean, we've gone all in on the AI narrative. In fact, in Frontrunners, we've actually added in an AI agents channel, as you can see here. If you want to get into Frontrunners, there is a wait list. However, the wait list is closed. Get onto it, because when we do let people in, that'll be when we let you in. But I think this year we're going all in on AI. Really, this year is going to be all in, or specifically now we're going all in on AI, because it's a narrative that is here to stay. It's not one of these narratives that's going to be here for 1 month and then gone. This is a narrative that is much bigger than crypto. It's happening outside of crypto. It's probably the biggest narrative in the world today, and especially after the announcement of today, which we have to spend a lot of time talking about. But I did the show yesterday around AI agents. And you know, sometimes when you do, so you don't know this, but sometimes I do a show, and then like after a show, I'm like, hold on a second, I just want to reflect on what happened on the show yesterday. What I realized after the show yesterday is that the truth is that I reckon I've probably got another 12 months left at Banter, maybe 24. Because after that, I think I'm going to be replaced by an AI bot. And I mean, I wish that wasn't the case, but I think that when I look specifically at AIXBT, and for those of you who don't know what AIXBT is, AIXBT is an AI agent. It's a bot, a Twitter bot that learns from other Twitter accounts and other data sources, and it becomes really, really clever. And I've been watching AIXBT, and AIXBT has been getting smarter and smarter and smarter. When I watched AIXBT 2 weeks ago, and now watch AIXBT now, what I can see is that this bot is learning about crypto very, very, very fast. It's learning 24/7. It's learning much faster than I could ever learn. And I kind of look at this and I'm going, hold on a second. You know, going to replace KOLs. It's going to replace KOLs, lazy KOLs. I think it's going to replace all KOLs, because I kind of think to myself, if I was you guys, if I was an audience and I was looking for crypto information and I had a choice of where to get my crypto information from, the one place I can get it from is from a machine that is analyzing data 25 times faster than the human on this side, on this side of the screen. And the machine is completely logical and has zero emotions and is not swayed by fear or greed or any other kind of emotion, and can process information much quicker than a human. And now these agents are actually talking. They're talking on spaces, and they can make music. I'm kind of thinking to myself, well, in 12 months, if this is the rate of progress, in 12 months, you guys probably won't need to watch me anymore. and I probably won't have any need to do any shows because you're going to be able to get all your AI information, if you even need the information, because you may not even need the information because the bot can just trade for you without giving you any information. But if you do want to learn, you'll probably be able to learn much better from the AI than you could learn from someone like me, right? And so after doing yesterday's show, I kind of realized that I have 12 months left here. And after 12 months, I'm going to be replaced by an agent. And that's the harsh reality. And as someone says, the agents don't need pee breaks, Josh. You see? So I mean, I know we're laughing about this. But it's actually not a laughing matter. It is a very, very, very serious matter. In fact, I actually tried to get AI onto my show, my Banter Friday show. On Friday, we're going to try and do a show, a banter. I don't know if we'll pull it off, but we're going to try and do a banter with just AI agents. So me and 3 AI agents. And I want to see how good they are. I actually did reach out to a whole lot of AI agents, and some of them actually look, I reached out to AI agents earlier and I said, hey, AI agents, I'm hosting a live show on Friday, 9:15, where I want to host you live so we can bring alpha to the communities. It's a live YouTube and Twitter stream. You would need to connect to an avatar. You would need to connect with an avatar and voice. Who wants in? And actually a lot of AI agents started to respond, right? AI however, keeps dissing me. Maybe AI is ugly. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't want. So anyway, going back to it. I genuinely think that in 12 months I'm going to be replaced by an AI agent, and I think that goes to this AGI announcement. Now, what is this AGI announcement that Sam Altman made? Well, I'll make it a bit bigger for those of you who actually still read. He said, "We are now confident that we know how to build AGI as we have traditionally understood it. We believe that in 2025, we may see the first AI agents join the workforce and materially change the output of companies. We continue to believe that iteratively putting great tools in the hands of people leads to great broadly distributed outcomes." And so what he's saying here is that we are reaching a point, or that they finally believe that they can get to artificial general intelligence, AGI. Now, for those of you who don't know what AGI actually means, AGI means artificial general intelligence, refers to a hypothetical intelligence of a machine that processes the ability to understand or learn any intellectual task that a human being can. It is a type of artificial intelligence that aims to mimic the cognitive abilities of the human brain. And so what Sam Altman is basically saying, that they believe that they now know how to make machines as smart as humans. Okay, now, very, 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 very scary. Because if a machine is as smart as a human, but a machine doesn't need a pee break, can process things 1 billion times faster, can process 1 billion more things, it effectively makes humans obsolete. And it's really one stop away from singularity. Now, artificial general intelligence is where AIs are as intelligent as humans. Singularity is when AI knows everything that all humans collectively know. And that's the next step. That's what they call the singularity. It's when AIs know everything that collectively all humans have ever known or do actually know. So what does this actually mean? What does this actually mean, and what's the opportunity here? I think it means that we're at a turning point. And I'll tell you what this turning point actually means. This year is going to be the year of AGI, artificial general intelligence. What that means is that AI is going to be as smart as humans and can basically perform any task that a human can perform, unless it's a physical task, which will probably happen in next year or the year after, when bots replace humans, right? Actual robots replace humans. That's where we pretty much are. So if you've got a thinking job, or if you've got a presenting job like I have, or you're doing Excel, or you're an accountant, guys, pretty much with AGI, in 12 months to 24 months, you probably don't have a job anymore. Okay, so what does that mean? Well, you can choose to put your head in the sand and just ignore it. I think that's a pretty bad approach. You could then realize that, hold on, you're going to be replaced by an AI. And you know what, for years and years and years, I said, I'm not going to be replaced by AI because, I'm so good looking and I'm so charming and I'm so funny. But truth is, it's not, I'm going to be replaced by AI, and so are you going to be replaced by AI. And so now we are faced with a turning point. What is that turning point? The turning point is to say, well, we are very, very, very early in this revolution. We know it's going to happen. We know that when it happens, it's going to destroy our productive ability, right? So when AGI happens, for most people, it's going to destroy their productive ability. For designers, already they're getting replaced by AI because AI is making designs much better than designers can do it. And AI can give you 10,000 designs where a designer can give you one. For presenters like me, for accountants, pretty much our revenue sources or our income sources are going to be replaced by AI. But they haven't been replaced by AI yet. And the truth is that these AIs don't really exist, or these AIs are very, 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 very young. In fact, probably the way to look at it is what I said to you guys yesterday, which is that I said, look, I keep hearing these AI agents are just bots, but I said these agents are very similar to humans. And what I alluded to here was that if you invested in a human when the human was very young, and I said yesterday, I said, these humans today, the technology is like a 3-year-old human. But in a year or 2 years, it's going to be like a 20-year-old human. And so if you can invest in the AI now, and that AI replaces you and replaces 1,000 other people, well, then it's okay if AI replaces you because you're going to land up making money on all the money that this AI makes. Now, if you land up investing in a lot of AIs that do a lot of specialist things, then even though your income from your productivity will go away, you will make money on the income and the productivity of the AI agents, and therefore you'll be able to maintain and maybe even increase your lifestyle. And so what you want to be doing, because we're at this cusp or this turning point now, is you want to be you want to first accept the problem. The problem is most humans are going to get replaced. Most income sources are going to get replaced. Okay. We won't need researchers in 12 months because AI is going to do the researchers. We're not going to need anyone to drive the shows in 12 months because the shows are going to drive themselves because AI is going to do its own fucking shows, which means that already everyone in this office, all 4 of us in this office are pretty much going to be replaced in 12 months. So now we have a opportunity. We can decide to ignore it and just carry on doing what we're going to do. Or we can say, hold on a second. Let us invest in the things that are going to replace us. And so when they do replace us, we just chill back and say, okay, well done, congratulations, you landed up replacing me. But I'm still making money because I was smart enough to see that you are replacing me. And so right now we're at a very, 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 very important turning point. Someone says, get rid of Sheldon, he's making bad calls again. You know what? Maybe is, maybe isn't, but I can tell you one thing. An AI is going to be able to analyze many, many, many more charts than Sheldon's ever analyzed and is going to run iterations on or backtesting on thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of models. All chartists are going to be replaced. Guys, I know this sounds crazy, but it's happening. You know, Sam Altman basically made this announcement today. And he said, we are confident that we now know how to build AGI as we have traditionally understood it. We know how quickly this is about to happen, right? So, what do? The first thing is we have to accept the fact that this is happening. The second thing we have to do is we've got a unique opportunity in crypto. And the unique opportunity in crypto is to invest now in the things that you can invest that are going to bring you the income if they are successful in replacing us. That is why I think that these AI agent bets are so amazing. That is why I'm spending so much of my time and of my bandwidth investing in AI now. If I'm going to be replaced, while I have got an income stream, I'm going to take that income stream and invest it in the income stream that is going to replace me. So when I don't have an income stream because I cannot do these streams anymore because I've been replaced by an AI, I am going to make money from that AI. So some of the agents or infrastructures that I'm going to invest in are people that are going to replace me or AIs that are going to replace me. We'll talk about that. Anyway, in the meantime, we have to remember that this narrative is not something like most other narratives that's going to disappear. This narrative is big. It is something that's going to be here for years and years and years and years and years. And so when you take a bet now, it's not like meme coins where you don't know if they're going to be here. This is a narrative that's going to be here for a hell of a long time. And so you can take bets comfortably. And that is why I'm taking a whole lot of bets in the AI infrastructure. You know, we've been speaking about them. We're going to speak about them a lot more. That's why we started the AI agents channel in Frontrunners. we're going to take a whole lot of AI bets because we have to, because we are not putting our heads in the sand. Because if we do, then we're going to be like those people that think, no, it's not going to be me. It's not going to be me. I'm just going to carry on doing my job, and I'm just going to carry on being a researcher, and I'm going to carry on being a researcher. And then you're like, shit, we don't actually need researchers because AIXBT can do it already. And then there's no more need for researchers. And if you didn't invest in AIXBT and you are a researcher, well, cooked. That is what I'm trying to explain to you guys. So we're going to be taking a lot of AI bets. We'll talk about a lot of those AI bets. I'm going to, in fact, show you one bet that I'm taking. In fact, a few bets that I'm taking today. One that I took before the show, I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys, is I took more of, it's my second time that I've taken a bet on SUI agents. The reason why I did it is because SUI is exploding. AI is exploding. AI agents are exploding. This is the AI agent launchpad of the SUI ecosystem at a $5.2 million market cap. I mean, I took a little bit more before the show. I did have before, but I'm taking a bit more. The other infrastructure that I'm looking at is I'm looking at 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧, TAO. Now, I've always had TAO. I've had TAO since $70. And I must say, I stopped buying TAO at a certain point in time, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧. And the reason why I stopped buying 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧 is because the market cap of 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧 is really high. It's about $4.6 billion, right? Now, generally, I don't like buying things at a market cap of $4.6 billion with a fully diluted valuation of $12 billion. That's huge. But things are happening at TAO which we need to talk about. Now, I do have some TAO. I'm not really buying more TAO, but I think you need to understand how 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧 or TAO actually works, right? So how it works is it's made up of a whole lot of subnets. Let me try and get you a picture of these subnets. Just give me 1 second because I actually closed my... Okay, so can you send me that picture of the subnet just so, because I closed it by mistake. You're going to be replaced in 12 months by AI, just by the way. Because just so you know, because you know, if I would have asked an AI to send it to me, I would already have it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So my suggestion is that you invest in AI, in an AI researcher. So that when an AI researcher replaces you, then at least you say, okay, well, you managed to replace me, but you didn't. Take your time, and you take a pee break, and you take your time. Okay, so what is TAO? TAO is effectively an AI infrastructure in crypto, 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧. It's basically a bunch of subnets. It's a protocol which allows for a bunch of AI subnets all to work together in perfect harmony, so to speak. That's a very simplistic thing. Each one of the subnets on TAO perform different functions and are specialists in different things. And I'll show you just a couple of these things. One of them is 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧, which is revolutionizing wealth generation through AI. One of them is NetMind, which is around decentralized computing power. Another one of them is Score, which we'll talk about a lot more. Score is about predicting sports results. Then you've got Neural. Neural is around gaming and AI 3D model development. And so what you can see is that there's a whole lot of these subnets on 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧, right? Which are developing. So maybe you don't want to be getting into 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧 at 11 billion fully diluted valuation because you can't really see the upside. But there's a whole lot of these subnets which you can actually invest in some shape or form, right? And especially now when there's EVM support on TAO, which means that Ethereum developers can actually carry on developing and stuff like that. Like there's a good opportunity in TAO to be investing in this TAO ecosystem. Now, what do we invest in when we invest in the TAO ecosystem? Well, for one, I would invest in the DEX. So what is the DEX? They're very small decentralized exchanges. I think the one that we looked at is one called Hotkey. Let's just quickly see. Let's quickly see what the market cap of Hotkey. I think it's tiny. We always look at the DEX in an ecosystem. This is quite risky because the fully diluted market cap here is $8 million. It's very small. So either you're going to make it or you're going to lose all your money, but it's a very speculative small bet. But I do want to talk to you about one subnet and specifically what the subnet is doing and why I'm so bullish about the subnet. Okay, so remember I said to you that TAO 𝗕𝗬𝗕𝗬𝗧 has a lot of subnets. That's what they look like. Each subnet specializes in something else, whether it's AI gaming or whatever else. And the subnet that I want to spend talking about is the score subnet. So what is the score subnet? It's a subnet on 𝗏𝗏𝗧, which teaches machines to understand our visual world autonomously, starting with the dynamic complexity of soccer, where every movement, every play, and every moment trains our AI to decide to decode the world around us. So what they're doing here is they are training AI on sports. And specifically, they started to train AI on soccer. Now, you know where this is going, right? Because if they're training an AI on soccer, on football, on sports, then for the Americans, just so you know, like soccer is the game with the round ball. I know you guys call it football. It's not football, it's soccer, okay? So this is a subnet which is training AI. Our subnet processes football videos, optimizing for speed, accuracy, and cost efficiency. So it watches football videos, and then it uses that information to actually make predictions, right? So someone was analyzing and he said, we'll talk about deking in a second, but he said, I looked at WeBuild Score. My mind was absolutely blown. They take gambling analytics and machine learning to a different dimension and tie it all together with a token or a platform called DraftKings. Okay. They leverage the TAO network. They leverage the TAO network to do machine learning on live matchups, where players are on the field, matchups, momentum flows, ball control tendencies, and then they use the data to find inefficiencies in gambling lines. So basically, they analyze game information, and they take the game information and they look for inefficiencies, and then they have this data. Now, what do you do with the data? You take bets, right? And so what these guys are setting themselves up to do is they are training AI on sports betting information. Once they have the sports betting information, they are using it to make bets. And that is where this token that I have started to accumulate a big position in, which is called deking. Deking is DraftKings. It's obviously a play on DraftKings. And this is a 𝗏𝗏𝗧 subnet. Now, what does this subnet do? So let's just have a look here. The agent has the ability to act extremely quickly as in-game events take place. Players going on a fast break, for example, create real-time inefficiency in the market, and AI agents could place bets across 10 plus on-chain sportsbooks all simultaneously the second the player breaks past the defense, which is mind-blowing to me, right? So just imagine these AI agents all taking bets based on humans, which is kind of like strange. You think like humans are playing a sport and AI agents are actually betting on the human sport. And humans can't really compete because they can't actually process the data fast enough. So who's being replaced here? Bookmakers, people that actually take bets and analyze sporting data and make bets, being replaced by AI that can do it much quicker. And that's what this sport subnet on the score subnet on 𝗏𝗏𝗧 is actually doing. So where is the opportunity? So let's just quickly read this. Score Vision is a decentralized computer vision framework built on 𝗏𝗏𝗧 that drastically reduces the cost and time required for complex video analysis. By leveraging innovative lightweight validation techniques and aligned incentives, we're making our advanced computer vision accessible and scalable. Our initial focus is game state recognition in football, a strategic entry point into the 600 billion football industry with 50 billion in betting and 30 billion in data services. Okay, so now you're starting to understand what these guys are actually doing, right? Now, what is the opportunity here? The opportunity here comes in a token called deking, DraftKings, I don't pronounce it. And what it says here is they take the data that gets processed by this network, and DraftKings DAO, built on the foundation of 𝗙𝗢𝗙𝗢𝗡 agent ecosystem, is the first agentic sports betting DAO, transforming sports betting into pure mathematical equations. By seamlessly integrating advanced AI infrastructure with autonomous AI agents, DraftKings redefines the competition of sports betting hedge funds. So basically, what this token is, it is a token that allows you to speculate on AI agent betting. That's pretty much what this token does. Now, I want you to just quickly understand this. Through its dual wager system and integration with 𝗙𝗬𝗕𝗙𝗧 infrastructure, Score Vision and 𝗕𝗤𝗧𝗏 DraftKings democratizes the professional. The platform eliminates the barriers. Now, you can basically, the foundation of DraftKings ecosystem allows anyone to stake DraftKings token in general pools, where all betting operations are autonomously handled by a sophisticated AI bot. Agentic participants benefit from collective intelligence of the system, while their capital is managed by quantitative strategies. No human management required. And then they also have a human management. For those seeking to have more involvement, DraftKings enables curated contributors to establish specialized betting pools. So effectively, what is this token? This token is a share, not share because then it would be a security, but it's a play on agents taking sports bet, guess what, on human sports. And they have a 2 and 20 structure. So I think they talk about the 2 and 20 structure here. If not, I've got another tweet over here which actually talks about it over here. So I think effectively what you find, I don't know if I've got this. Hold on, let's have a look here. So they have a model where effectively they get you pay them 2 and 20, so 2% for managing your money and 20% on a certain upside. And so this is one that really, really, really caught my attention because the token is live. The token is live. The use case is pretty obvious. We know how these things actually play out. We know how sports betting actually works, and we kind of know that it's all a bunch of quick mathematical equations that actually take place. And that's why I'm extremely, extremely, extremely bullish on this specific one. It's not the only one. It's not the only one. There's many, many, many others, and we're going to spend a lot of time on many, many, many others. But I just wanted to bring your attention to the fact that AGI is coming and that you have to hedge yourself against AGI. Don't put your head in the sand. Don't be one of those people. But also that if you are smart enough, then you can actually start placing bets now to replace your income with the income of virtual workers, which are going to basically, if you own a stake, and that's where crypto is so interesting, because only crypto gives you the opportunity to do that, unless you're going to go and buy equity in these companies, but very hard to monetize that equity. And so I think that's where crypto brings us an amazing, amazing opportunity. So let's agree that from today, we change our mindsets. Instead of being scared of this thing, we actually embrace this thing and we say, look, we'll put some bets so that one day when you're not a researcher, you can make money from a researcher. And one day when you're not a sports betting person anymore because you can't bet against computers, well, you own a share in this pool, and so you'll end up making a whole lot of money. I think that's pretty much what I wanted to get out today. We'll carry on with our coverage of these AI agents and AI, obviously the whole week.
Tomorrow you're on Crypto Live.
Oh, is it tomorrow on Crypto Live?
Yeah, that's what I got.
No, this week is a break. This week we're getting our momentum back on this channel.
Okay, then I'm gonna tell Kevin.
Yeah, tell Kevin this week we're all getting our momentum back on this channel. I'll see you guys again tomorrow. Hopefully all our friends will be back. Until then, trade well, my friends.